Hello, young ladies and young gentlemen. This is another YouTube video for introductory computer science for people who are struggling to get to educational opportunities in this difficult COVID-19 education shutdown. Now, this is one of the YouTube videos about the memory chip, but this is more prerequisites for the memory chip. In order to understand the memory chip and why that matters when writing computer programs, in this YouTube lecture, very quickly, I'd just like to review some of the details that we learned in earlier YouTube lectures about values. Okay, so I'm just reviewing some stuff we went over earlier, and here we go. First, a value can be a number or a string. Very simple, very small values. But a value could also be a more complex data structure. If a value is neither a number nor a string, which is a very simple type of value that beginners usually start learning with, if a value is neither a number nor a string, that usually means that that value, that one value, is what we call a complex data structure. There are exceptions to this, but we don't need to talk about that today. So if the value is neither a number nor a string, then that value is a complex data structure. Remember that a value can be passed around from one part of the computer program to another part of the computer program through a number of techniques, usually by assigning the value to a variable name. But also, when you call a function, the function has input and output whenever you call a function. When you call a function, you pass it input. The input you pass to a function is a value, or one or two or three values. When the function that has been called finishes executing, it returns output that you get back. That is a value. So calling functions involves moving values back and forth, as well as assignment statements where you assign to variable names. Now, this is important, and I've mentioned this in earlier lectures, but this is very important. A value is a piece of information, but to be more specific, a value is a piece of information that is stored somewhere on the memory chip. To use that value that you are interested in, you must have the location on the memory chip where that value is stored. Without that location, without something in the computer code that has the location on the memory chip where that value is, you don't have access to that value. Now, a variable name, and here's a variable name, this is a variable name. Remember that a variable name is essentially a pointer in most modern computer programming languages, which is to say the variable name points to a location where a value that you care about is on the memory chip. Now, a value that is a complex data structure, and if it's not a number or string, it's probably a complex data structure. A value that is a complex data structure has many, many pieces inside, but remember, a value that is a complex data structure is considered as a single value. In the context of computer code, in the context of an assignment statement, for example, an array is a complex data structure. You can assign an array to a variable name just like you could with a number or string. So that array is being treated as a single value, even if it has a lot of pieces inside. Think of it as a box. You can put many pieces in the box, but the box itself is considered as one thing. Now, listen closely. A value that is a complex data structure, and this is the case for most modern programming languages in use in today's economy. A value that is a complex data structure contains many pieces inside, and I'm going to tell you something important about those pieces. For most modern programming languages, a complex data structure has pieces inside of it, and those pieces are not the values themselves. Those pieces are pointers. So the multiple pieces inside a complex data structure are themselves pointers, just like a variable name is a pointer, that points to a location on the memory chip where useful values are stored. So take this. This is a variable name, and it points to the location where the number 7 is stored. This is a value that is an array. Okay? And we think of the numbers 1, 2, or 3 as being inside the array, which is very intuitive and useful in thinking of it in that way. But this is actually what's happening. The array is a complex data structure, and the pieces of information inside the array are actually pointers that point to a location on the memory chip. So, for example, oh dear, the battery is running low. Okay, so for example, this is the array. This array has a location on the memory chip. My battery's running low. This array has a location on the memory chip, and inside this array is a pointer that points to a location on the memory chip where the value 1 is. Inside the array is other pointers that point to locations on the memory chip where the values 2 and 3 are, and the flashing signal for the battery. Fortunately, this is a short YouTube lecture. The next YouTube lecture I'm about to do is not short. It's a good thing I saw that flashing battery signal when I did.